EA Sports presents NHL Hockey 96.
Electronic Arts has always made sports games that set standards for video gaming, but lately they seem to be outdoing themselves, especially EA Canada.
The consistent quality of the games they've been putting out, at least the last year, is right up there with the great gaming companies like Bullfrog. When an EA Sports game has come out lately, reviewing it has been just a formality because they're so well done.
Now we're starting to see EA games take on a more cohesive look. The sport may be different, whether it's hockey, golf, or basketball, but the style of the games, as far as the look, the sound, and the feel, is getting more and more consistent. Of course, this is the follow-up to NHL 95, which would lead one to think that NHL 96 is just a rehashing of 95. But the genius behind EA is their ability to take a game that's been done a million times before and make it feel like something that's brand new.
The goal of the designers of NHL 96 was to provide the most realistic feel of a hockey game possible on a PC. This is where the atmosphere becomes so important.
Instead of trying to make you feel as though you're right on the ice with the players, NHL 96 makes you feel like you're at home watching and controlling the game on TV. The announcer introduces the game from the home team's city.
Tonight from Detroit, we present the NHL exhibition game between the New Jersey Devils and the Detroit Red Wings.
And the starting lineups are given, making the whole thing feel like the EA Sports Cable Network. How they got the announcer to combine all the team player names into a sentence as seamlessly as they have, I'll never know, but it sounds about as live as it gets.
The look of the game is equally impressive, with all the player stats and penalties displayed on the screen in a broadcast style like you'd see on ESPN. I'm telling you, this game is as close to watching an actual live game as it gets. Plus, you get to play and not just watch.
And what a game it is. The play is the best I've ever experienced in a video hockey game. Even though the players don't look super realistic, they are extremely convincing when in motion.
No kidding. They skate, pass, shoot, stop, turn, and take off. Everything they do looks just like an actual NHL player. And this realistic look really translates into better control.
When I first started out, the controls felt sluggish, like I couldn't quite get my player to do what I wanted. This is because there's a lot more depth in controlling the players than just moving left and right.
These players can skate backwards, come to a skid stop, make a smooth arc across the ice, body check, poke check, hook, and all this is done with only 2 buttons. There is so much that can be done with the players in the game, it takes a while before you can become comfortable with the control.
But once you get a few games under your belt and practice these moves for a while, you'll be flying across the ice, making moves that even Wayne Gretzky would envy.
Now, there was a slight problem that I found.
A problem in this game? What did you find?
In the game of hockey, the teams use 4 different lines or groups of players to put on the ice at one time, instead of substituting individual players here and there.
Okay, that's the way the real game works. What's the problem?
My problem is that when you want to change the lines, and you're using a game controller other than the keyboard, the interface is very inconvenient. The 4 lines are displayed at the top of the screen, and the computer scrolls through the lines one by one. When the line you want is highlighted, you press your buttons to choose that line. If I want line 1 and the computer is on line 2, I have to wait for it to cycle through the other lines before it gets back to line 1. It is possible to tap a function key to get the line immediately, but using a controller means you're just going to have to wait. It really interrupts the flow of the game.
How did a stinker of a function like that get into a game this good?
Yeah, I know, but it's just one of those functions that got under my skin more and more the longer I played it. I know it's a small thing, but why give the player control over just about everything in this game and then make them wait on the computer for a basic gameplay function? It boggles the mind. And in all honesty, it doesn't take that much away from the game, but it really bugged me. When the game first begins, you hear the final verse of the Star-Spangled Banner or "Oh Canada," depending on where the game is being played.
Then the game spirals down to the ice for the initial face-off. While playing the game, you can switch between 11 different camera views, including a press box camera,
a view right on the ice itself,
and the basic NHL TV shot. You can switch on the fly between any of these views.
These views come in particularly handy during video playback. At any time during the game, you can pause the action and review the last few seconds of the game. If it's something you want to keep for future reference,
like that goal I made against you from center ice. So pretty. I'm just so pretty.
Oh, shut up. But you can save any of these plays on your hard drive and play them back from the preset camera views. Or you can manually place the camera on the puck or any player you want.
What really makes NHL 96 phenomenal is the fact that the guys at EA Canada really know what a CD-ROM is made for. First, let's talk about music and sound effects.
The music is CD quality, and it rocks!
The only trouble is that there aren't enough different tunes included. By the time I finished playing my first hockey game in NHL 96, I'd heard just about every tune in the game. But they still rock.
The music plays during all of the menus and stat screens, and during the game itself you hear that cheesy organ that we all love, along with all of the popular crowd chants you'd hear at a real NHL event.
The music is definitely great, but now let's talk about the sound effects.
It simply isn't possible to get sound effects better than what's in NHL 96. You hear all of the skaters around your player, and you hear it in stereo.
You hear the puck clang off the wall, the crowd boos and cheers at all the right times, and the body checks sound great.
One of the best things about having the NHL license is that EA was able to put in all of the current NHL teams and players. All of the players had their photos digitized into the game, so when you're checking out the team roster, you can see a sharp-looking picture.
And what's more, EA and Donruss have gotten together for NHL 96. Along with each player's picture, you can view their Donruss trading card as well.
A complete set of 342 high-res cards has been put into the game, for a total of 668 high-res photos in all.
But the cards aren't just in the game. There's a package of Donruss NHL trading cards packaged in every game of NHL 96. I love opening up a game and getting little extras like that. Little extras is what NHL 96 is all about. Everything you could want in a hockey game is in NHL 96.
Every little stat you could ever want to record is kept for each game, and it'll even keep your own personal playing stats regardless of what team you play as.
You can play in exhibition mode,
You can play a full season,
or you can play in the NHL playoffs. You can even play against another human over the modem.
the computer will even hand out awards after a tournament to all the best players and teams. I never knew there were so many different trophies, cups, and awards given out at the end of an NHL season, but they all seem to be here.
Sports games on the computer have entered into a great new era, and EA Sports is largely responsible for leading the way.
Right now, there are no companies that can really compete with any of the latest sports stuff from EA, and there are darn few games overall from any genre that are as good as this stuff.
NHL 96 is EA at the top of its form. Everything has been done extremely well, from the music to the graphics, from the control of the players to the statistics that are kept.
But most importantly, it's fun. How many games out there look this good, sound this good, and are this much fun? Not many at all. But NHL 96 is one of the best.